My goal is straightforward: to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Decriminalization Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. When a police officer has probable cause that a crime is being committed by you, the officer has a right to arrest you. This notion of probable cause comes from the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution. It protects people from unreasonable search and seizures. It is not a guarantee against all searches, but just those that are unreasonable. Do the cops have a right to search your car or truck if you get pulled over? If a police officer pulls you over or approaches your vehicle, provide the paperwork they ask for. But if they ask to search your vehicle, whether you have something to hide or not, your answer should always be no. No, you cannot search my vehicle. Your right is that the police cannot search your vehicle. You may notice that the police sometimes, when they stop your vehicle, look through the windows. It's because they're only allowed to search your car if they have reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed based on what they see in plain sight. So if you have nothing in plain sight in your car, nothing on your dashboard, nothing in your lap, nothing in your console, and they go and open your car door and start searching your car, or they go and open and search in your trunk, whatever they find would not be admissible in court because it was an illegal search, and the case against you would be thrown out of court. That is why the police always ask for permission to search your car. If you give them permission, it's no longer an illegal search. You invited the police to search your car. If the police want to search your car, they either have to arrest you for probable cause for committing a crime, or they need to get a search warrant while you sit on the side of the road. The point is, you have a right to privacy inside your vehicle. On the flip side, if you have something even small incriminating against you in plain sight of the officer looking through your window, then the police have the right to search your vehicle and open the trunk and find some more incriminating stuff. And if you are inside the vehicle and they find something incriminating, and maybe you're just the passenger in the car, whatever they find, even if it has nothing to do with you, you are still criminally liable for what is discovered. So for example, if the cops find an illegal gun under the seat of a car that you're a passenger in, and you know nothing about this gun, even though you know nothing about this gun, the police will still charge you with illegal gun possession. So that illegal gun will belong to the driver and everyone in the car. It will be one gun belonging to multiple people. So that is why everyone in the car should say no to a police search. If one of 4 people in a car says yes, then the police are invited to search, and you never know what the police may find. If the police tell you it will make your arrest more difficult for you if they have to get a warrant, well, then they're usually bluffing. It means they most likely do not have probable cause to search your vehicle in the first place. But everyone says I'm afraid, and if I don't cooperate, the law will come down tougher on me because I did not allow them to search my vehicle. Well, let me be the first to tell you that if the police find something illegal in your car truck, you will be treated the same way whether you gave them permission or they had to get a warrant. But as I said, if you don't give them permission to search your car, and they don't have a warrant to search your car, and they find something illegal that is not in plain sight, then you are in a better position because your case is likely to get thrown out in court. So, you're pulled over on the side of the road in a car. Ultimately, the police are going to do what they feel like because they have ultimate power over you. Whether a gun is found legally or illegally, you are going to get arrested. There is no doubt about it. The playing field is not level out on the street. The playing field levels out when you get into a courtroom and your lawyer tells a judge that whatever was discovered in your car that got you arrested does not matter because it was obtained obtained illegally in an illegal search. Many cases are one based upon a professional breakdown of the police officer's story on cross-examination. When the district attorney questions the officer on the stand, the story will always sound pretty good, saying, yeah, I found drugs in the trunk. But on cross-examination, the police officer is going to get unraveled if no one in the car gave that officer permission to look in the trunk. And if the cop did not have permission to open the trunk or open the car door or have reasonable permission to search the car because he or she saw something in plain sight, or if they did not have a warrant from a judge, because no cop has a warrant to search when they pull you over, it's not like they have this in their back pocket, you are going to win and walk out of court. And if you are arrested by the police, remember that you have the right to a government-appointed lawyer if you cannot afford one. Tune in to Bradshaw Live weekdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube for more Braducations, immigration and legal news, interviews, fun, and to achieve your American dream.
This is general legal advice only. Ask your attorney about your specific situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future.
Hey Brad Squad, it's executive producer Jill Gould, aka Jilly Bean. Today I'm in front of Judson Memorial Church in Washington Square Park, New York City for a big celebration because immigrant activist Jean Montrevil has returned to the United States after more than 3 years of deportation to Haiti. We had Jean's family on Bradshaw Live as he was being held in ICE detention right before his deportation. On Monday, October 18th, 2021, the family was able to once again put their arms around Jean when he arrived at John F. Kennedy International Airport after being granted a 90-day period of special interest parole. The parole permits him to enter the country while he pursues longer-term avenues to remain with his family in New York as conditions in Haiti worsen. The former lawful permanent resident and father of 4 spent decades advocating for more humane immigration policies after a 1990 Virginia drug conviction led to a deportation order in his case. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam recently pardoned Jean, giving him the opportunity to seek to reopen his case and regain his legal status and apply for naturalization as a U.S. citizen. And that's why his family and community have gathered today at Jean's church to tell the U.S. government to hashtag Keep Jean Home. Let's go in and talk to everybody.
There is a place for me. There is a place for me, oh. There is a place for me in the body of Christ. There is a place for me. There is a place for me. There is a place for me in the body of Christ, and I belong here.
Okay, Brad Squad, I'm here with Janae Coffin, Jean Montreville's ex-wife and mother of his children and good friend and partner in life and advocate. So Janae, how do you feel having Jean home?
I feel great. I mean, to see my kids' eyes brighten up to have their dad back again is it's a feeling that words can't explain. It's long overdue. He should have never been taken away.
Okay, so you came on our show back in January 2018, right before Jean was deported. In a nutshell, can you explain what happened, how Jean ended up getting deported in the first place?
He ended up getting deported because ICE was surveilling his home where he was staying, and they came when he was on his way to work, and they just snatched him up. He had a pending case in court, and they didn't even take that into consideration. I believe they have inside connections with the courts because I checked, it was Martin Luther King's weekend, and the system was all of a sudden down. Jean was deported on Martin Luther King Day, and they said the judgment was rendered on that Friday, when his lawyer was checking every day up until that Friday, and there was no decision rendered by ICE.
And Jean had come to the U.S. at the age of 17?
Yes, he came here at the age of 17, and he was a legal permanent resident. He got in some trouble with the law when he was, I believe, 19. He served his time for that. The laws changed while he was serving the time, and immigration laws run retroactive, so they ordered him deported when he was in federal penitentiary.
However, he got out of penitentiary and he was never deported, right?
He got out of the penitentiary. He was put on federal parole, and he had received a letter back in '05 stating that they was going to release him for federal parole early because of good behavior. And when he went there, it was an ICE sweep. They picked him up right from the parole office at downtown Brooklyn. They stated that he wasn't supposed to be released back into the States. He was supposed to be sent straight to Haiti.
You built a family and a business that also employed American citizens, is that correct?
Correct. We built a transportation business that employed everyone from various backgrounds. Gene hasn't been in trouble with the law since that conviction in '89, and ICE kept on holding that over his head. It wasn't until I had filed a pardon when this case first started with the governor of Virginia because it was a drug offense in the state of Virginia. The pardon fell on deaf ears, and then we kept on advocating, and Judson and Families for Freedom and a whole host of people got involved. And Ralph Northam gave Gene a pardon on that case. I believe it was August 13th of this year. And then we had to press for humanitarian parole because even with the pardon, ICE wasn't willing to return him. It was due to the pressure from the people, advocating on Gene's behalf and his good character.
Those representatives, the NYU, you want to say who?
Law Clinic, he had two sets of students. One set of the students graduated last term, and we have new students that just picked it up, and they've been on it, advocating, pushing their legal paperwork. And I'm now the acting executive director of Families for Freedom, which is the organization that I found when Gene first got into this situation. So now I'm able to use my expertise to help other families.
So Gene has also filed a federal lawsuit against immigration officials for deporting him in retaliation against his activism.
Gene was targeted because of his activism, and ICE basically tried to shut him up. The day that they came to detain Gene, they handcuffed him, but they didn't search him. He had his cell phone. He was able to text me in cuff state, and the ICE got him. So when I received that text, I immediately emailed Gene's legal team, and Ravi Rockbear, who was a former executive director of New Sanctuary, which Gene and I co-founded with Ravi, they were coming to get him also. He was able to be saved briefly because he took Sanctuary immediately and he never left the church. But church members saw ICE in an unmarked vehicle waiting outside of Judson, waiting for Ravi to come also. So they violated his First Amendment rights, and we filed a lawsuit against that.
What was it like for Gene in Haiti?
It was rough. I mean, Haiti has no government. It would be times we went weeks to months without speaking because their Wi-Fi is horrible. The president wasn't even safe in Haiti. I mean, recently we saw that gangsters went and shot him up, and I believe they shot his wife also and killed him. I remember visiting Haiti. I was really scared to go outside because they had no street signs, no lights. It was just horrible.
Did you go to visit Gene?
Yes. Gene got deported in January 16th of 2018. I took the kids there. We surprised him for his first Father's Day in Haiti because every Father's Day, Gene was accustomed to spending that day with his children. And it was very rough and scary, worrying about him getting killed. He started a few businesses. He had to shut them down because the gangs had took over.
Tell me how this affected the children.
It really affected the children in a harsh way. And I feel our son Josiah took the deepest blow. Josiah was a freshman at Brooklyn Tech when this case first started. Gene walked into his first day of school. His first semester, all A's. Gene got deported, F's. Josiah was supposed to graduate in June of this year, and he had no drive to go to school. He fell into a deep depression. And I took him to get evaluated, and they said that they diagnosed him with separation anxiety. And now that his dad is back, he's in night school getting his credits up, and he's determined to get his high school diploma now. But he would say things like, why would I get my diploma? My dad is not going to be here to see me graduate. He just didn't understand the double jeopardy that his dad was dealing with.
Also, Josiah went through some major health issues.
Josiah had a brain tumor removed when he was 11. He suffers from asthma, eczema. He had severe allergies. So on top of the depression, it just made it very worse. So it was very hard on him. Our youngest daughter, Jemiah, she really became very sad. I remember getting a call at work. I had to leave because she bust out crying, and I asked the after-school teacher, what happened? And she said they had a daddy-daughter dance coming up, and she just broke down. So I had to deal with that. Our oldest daughter, Janiyah, she was in college in her sophomore year, and Jean was the one that took care of the paperwork to get her in college, and they wouldn't let me step in because Jean started it. So, it was hard. It was a lot. My whole world was stopped. I have my children that I have to be here for. If I broke down, who's going to be there to, keep them up?
What are the next steps here?
The hopes are, and I have faith, that his legal team, my support at Families for Freedom, we're going to keep on pushing. And Gene's going to be here permanently so he can do, his due diligence to get his life and stuff back together.
I'm here with Josiah, Janiyah, and Jemiah, 3 of Jean's children. You guys, how do you feel having your dad home?
I'm feeling, a lot right now. First of all, I'm very excited and happy to have him home. I'm also feeling, highly motivated to, go to college because, that's something I was always on the fritz about, just making him proud and everything. I know he'll be proud of me regardless of what I do, but I just want to, live up to the Montrevil name. I'm just happy to have him here, right around my birthday time too. Feels like an early Christmas present. Just excited to be here with him, have a couple questions to ask him, gone through the last 3 years without him. So just some things I miss doing that I'm excited to do now.
You're almost 18 now, right?
My birthday's in a month,
Okay.
and I'll be 18.
How did it affect you when your father left?
Well, for me, I kind of shut down a little bit, like after it had all sunk in. For a period of time, I kind of went on with life, living as everything was normal. But then I had to, it sunk in that, things weren't all right. My father was gone, and I was really distraught about it. Kind of broke down, shut down in school. And I was just like that for a couple months until I eventually was able to bounce back. Wasn't able to make a full recovery because that's something I don't believe anyone can ever completely go back to normal from, but I was able to improve in school, my mental health a lot too.
How do you feel having your dad back?
I feel great. It all happened so fast. Like, we were just talking about the possibility of him coming home, and then we got the call that the flight was booked, and it was like, okay, wow, this is really happening. It really affected all of us, especially me and my siblings, because I felt like my siblings were so young at the time, and it was at a pivotal moment in their growth period. So I feel like it distracted them. It distracted me from school. I started failing classes. Like, it was really stressful. And I felt like I had to be there for my brother and sister because they didn't really understand like what was going on, especially my little sister. She was so young at the time. And like, I remember it from like when Josiah was first born, like going to see him through a glass. Like, it was really traumatizing. I don't think any kid should have to go through that. And I think that the system is just made to keep Black and brown families apart. Like, they want people to go through these mental health crises because the system is rigged against us at the end of the day. So I don't think they realize how much it affects people.
Jemiah, you were the youngest when your dad was sent to Haiti. You're how old now?
I'm 14.
Okay, so you were 10 years old at the time. Well, how did you feel when your dad left?
I didn't really understand. I was just so in denial. Even now, I feel like my mind just blocked out those memories. I can't really remember like what happened or like what time period it really was or like what was going on in my life. It was just, everything just blocked out. It felt so unreal.
How is it for you having him home?
It definitely feels like weirdly normal. Like, he'll just wake me up, oh, Jemiah, time to go to school. You want some breakfast? Yeah. It just
He
feels
loves
normal.
cooking breakfast for everybody.
Yeah. Definitely, like, the puzzle is finally completed.
So this experience, I understand, has made you concentrate on a career in immigration law. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I felt like watching what happened to my father and watching the stuff I see on the daily, it has really pushed me to get my education and educate people and learn about immigration law so I can help families. Like, my family has been helped so much. So that's my goal, and that's what I'm going to pursue.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is a very warm welcome. Well, now I want to take time to say thank you, a big thank you to all of you in here, to this congregation, whether you participate, you wrote letters, or supported me, you made phone calls or asked a friend to write letters. Thank you.
Okay, squad, I'm here with the man himself, Gene Montrevil. Gene, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, man, so thrilled to be here today. After three and a half years separated from my children, my family, and my loved ones, especially my kids were so young at that time and who misses me so much. And I'm so happy to be back with them. Thank you.
You're here on 90-day humanitarian parole in order to continue to fight to remain in the country and to become a citizen. What are the next steps?
Well, the next step is we are in negotiation with the government. The 90 days parole is to negotiate the term of a lawsuit that I had about 3 years ago. So we're hoping now the government can probably ease off and get my case reopened at the BIA, and then hopefully I win at the BIA, and then I can get my permanent residence back. That's the goal. I've been fighting the system for over 20 years, since 1994, a long time, and finally I'm seeing the light at the tunnel. Hopefully we have a new administration. The Biden administration also been good to me, I have to say that, DHS people, they hurry up, get me the parole to get back here just so I can negotiate. I think it's a good side of them I thank them for doing that. And I think we are winning, man, we're winning.
You have a lot of representatives supporting you as well.
Yes, Schumer's office, Gilligan's office, Congressman Nadler, those people, Congressman Mick, from my district and for Rockaway, they have been very helpful to me. I really want to shout out to them. Since Trump's left, I think immigrants started to breathe a little bit easier now. And then we're starting to see the light.
You have a lawsuit filed against the federal government because you were pinpointed because of your immigrant activism. That was under the Trump administration, 2018. You think that is what ultimately caused you to be deported?
Trump himself called for my deportation because when the officers came to pick me up at my house that day, one of them asked me, "Don't you see who our president is now?" And I was like, "What? Who?" Trump. So I knew the order for me to be deported came from Trump himself because there were a lot of activists like myself who were speaking out against the policies, And as you know, Trump didn't like challenge.
Tell us, what was life like for you in Haiti?
Oh, God. Listen, Haiti is not, and I repeat, is not a country. It's a country with no functioning government. And you can't call it a country if you don't have a functional government. It's being run by gangs members. Gangs are everywhere in Haiti. Now they have a shortage of gasoline. With no gasoline, no transportation. Nobody can go nowhere. And you have what they call the random kidnapping. It usually be like they hire people to kidnap. Now they kidnap anybody. It doesn't matter your race or your financial situation. They get you. So it's tough. I was afraid to come out home. Since I think July, I just stay inside my house with my door locked. I'm afraid because I was a target of being kidnapped in the sense that they knew I was from New York and I have families back in the state. So they can easily kidnap me thinking they're going to get a lot of money from me. So because of that, I was so afraid, man, to come outside.
What do you want President Biden and Americans to understand about the Haitian migrants at the U.S. southern border?
Well, I think the Biden administration really need to take a second look on sending these people back. Imagine these migrants travel 11 countries just to get to the Texas border. They suffer a lot, And the reason they did that was to look for a better way to support the families, you know, and the Biden administration know the situation in Haiti. They know how hard it is. You know, what best to let these people, give them a second chance to stay here so they can help family. But Haiti depends on people sending money back home. You know, that's what driving the economy in Haiti. And lately we have seen less people receiving money because, of course, of the COVID-19, people losing their job, people don't have no money to send back. So we all suffer because of that. And in July, they assassinated the president. And until to this day, there's no justice. The justice system in Haiti has been closed for months, since July. There's no responsible government in Haiti. How can you deport people there? So they have to stop deporting people to Haiti. They have to. They have to stop deportation to Haiti. Thank you again. We did it. It was a team effort. It was not easy being in Haiti. Trust me. Thank you so much.
All right, Brad Squad, we went to church today and we really got to see what family and community mean, seeing Gene Montrevil home with his children, and of course we're going to follow his case. For more information, you can go to bringgenehome.org. Thanks, Brad Squad. Back to the studio.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.